Create an equation in vertex form of a quadratic which has undergone the following transformations. So just a reminder that vertex form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So we're putting it in that form. So reflection across the x-axis and shifts 3 units to the right. This is going to be y equals, and reflection across the x-axis means that there's a negative outside of the parentheses, and then moving the graph to the right means that it's going to be inside the function, and it's going to be x minus 3 quantity squared. We're not moving up or down, so we don't need to add anything out here. So first one, reflection across the y-axis. So letter B, reflection across the y-axis, and I think that I said that wrong. Reflection across the x-axis is what we did in letter A. Letter B, reflection across the y-axis. So reflection across the y-axis is an inside idea, and then translated 5 down. So this is going to be y equals, and then the 5 units down is minus 5. So when we set this up here, it's going to be x, and there's a negative in there. We're not moving our graph right or left. Then finally on letter C, reflection across the x-axis. Again, that's going to be a negative outside of the parentheses. Shifted 1 unit to the right, so that's going to be x minus 1, and then 8 units up. Again, remember what's inside the parentheses goes the opposite way that you think it is. Since it's minus, we think it's going to go left, but it really goes right. If we look at problem number 2, the graph of y equals negative x squared plus 10 represents the graph of y equals x squared after. Well, this negative, that reflects over the x-axis, and the plus 10 means up 10, so that looks like letter B. Letter C, if f of x equals x squared minus 3 and g of x is the reflection of f of x across the y-axis, what is the equation for g of x? Well, remember, reflection across the y-axis means that we need to have a negative inside the parentheses. So we can narrow it down here. Those are negatives outside the parentheses. And then it was minus 3 here, so we've got a plus 3 there. This must be letter D. Finally on this video, maybe I can get 2 more done. The point negative 3, negative 5 lies on the graph of the function. Which of the following points must lie on the graph of negative h of x? So again, the negative outside the function means that we're going to reflect this graph over the x-axis. So when we look at this particular problem, what is going to change is going to be the y value. So the negative 3 is going to remain the same. Oh, and there's only one answer that's got negative 3 for the x, so it would be this one. And actually now, for real, this time number 5, after reflection of the x-axis, the parabola y equals x squared minus 4. Well, if we're reflecting it over the x-axis, we have to have a negative in front of the x squared, so that would be letter C.